Weak judicial and police institutions, as well as the proximity to the largest consumer economy globally, have made Mexico the hub of one of the world's most sophisticated drug networks. And though the government has been waging war on drugs since 2016, violence is still rampant in Mexico, and the violence also comes with a high price tag. Our correspondent Martin Markovits tells us more from the Mexico City.
The Mexico Peace Index, an assessment of the cost of violence on the country's economy, says the total economic impact of the drug war in Mexico in 2015 was $134 billion, 13% of the country's GDP. That comes to about $1,105 per Mexican citizen, which is the equivalent of about 2 months' wages for an average Mexican worker. A staggering amount in a drug war that has killed nearly 160,000 people. The study factors in not only extortion and kidnapping, but also indirect costs like deferred and potential flight of capital.
The
people don't understand that the violence affects all of our productive sectors. It doesn't matter what sector, tourism or industry. If you get on a bus and they rob you, that means we are all affected.
The study also points out improvements as economic costs have decreased by 38% since 2011. But progress has slowed down because of a rise in the homicide rate. Security expert and journalist Alejandro Hope says this is partly due to Mexico's defense spending.
Actually, in terms of defense, it's relatively small, even in comparison with Latin America. And Latin America spends relatively little on this. Mexico spends on defense, spends about 2.5% of GDP. In Colombia, it's around 5%. I think you can make the case that actually Mexico should spend more on security, not less. Especially because the potential gains, welfare gains, are so large.
Despite the rise in murders, the statistics show that Mexico is still an economic impact of violence. And if this trend continues, it will not only be good for the country, but also for the quality of life of its people. Martin Markovits, CCTV, Mexico City.